Hello, gamers. Oh, sheesh. Welcome back to another amazing live stream by yours truly. How are we doing? Oh, lordy. It is time for another dating sim. This one is like more like a proper dating sim. Um, where you pick choices and that's that. It's like if you took Hooked on You and then took out all the quirks. But that doesn't mean this game is bad. Anyways, this first of all, I had to double check that I was allowed to play this game because when I typed in the game name for the category, ish did not pop up. So hence why I'm under games plus demos. I was like, am I allowed to play this? I checked the band thing. We're all good there. Also, I did learn the reason that Yandere Simulator is... Well, this is the reason Yandere Dev gives for why the game is banned. Apparently, like, a bunch of people spammed, like, to get rid of it or whatever. And I'm like, okay, sure, man. No, nothing else? Sure. But anyways, yeah, this game is... I'm curious about it because I had seen somebody play this, like, way back in the day. Like, when I was just a wee lad. Probably, like, I don't know, 11 or something? 12, maybe? Which should I have been watching certain content at 12? No. Or even younger? No, probably not. But you know, it's stuff that shakes us. Shakes us? Shapes us. I can't even, you know what? Let's just continue. Anyways, let me switch you guys over to the gamer screen, and I actually already have given you desktop audio. Let's see if they let me in. There we go. This game is all about... It shook me. Oh, hearing the yowl. You thought only I was gonna hear that. No, but I had given you desktop audio already. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I don't think it's a spoiler, but this game is all about going to a school where all of the students have some sort of disability or something like that. So I'm curious to see, does this hold up to 2025 standards? Like, do they say some fuck ass shit, or like, is it still good, you know? So we're gonna judge and we're gonna listen. Hopefully all the audio stuff is okay. If not, we can fix it. You're playing with fire, my man. Listen. Yes, but if it just immediately gets like crazy, we can just turn it off and pretend it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Okay. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. God, I always struggle saying this word. Deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy far out of the sight of teachers and fellow students. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. Also, this, I'm playing the Steam version of the game, so this version of the game does not have any NSFW in it, so you don't have to worry. What's this? The opening to one of my RP posts? Listen, and if it was... But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cup hands. Cup hands? Oh no, my hands are now mugs! I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyways? I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. Yes, the note slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker. but at least this way shows a bit of initiative. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The snowflakes silently falling from the white painted sky are the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed to a crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind, and then they just knock me out! I'm going unconscious! Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Why do I low-key miss Zero Escape? I think this is the toxic relationship in me talking, because I'm like, why am I like, dang, you know, I kind of miss playing VLR. Like, no you don't, please, this is our escape. No, I'm kidding. Cup hands. You've heard of Cuphead, right? The hit indie game Cuphead. Now get ready for its sequel. Oh, I just realized I kept my door open. Oopsies, I forgot to shut my door. That's okay. We'll shut it in a bit. Who's approaching me? Whenever you bring it up, I realize I've never seen a Zero Escape ending. I've never escaped. I've only escaped one time. Funnily enough. I've Zero Escaped actually once, so it's actually one escape. Hi, Hisao, you came? A hesitating, barely audible question. Is the music loud, by the way? However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. You know, dainty. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. Oh my god, the back of girl head. We look like the most generic Joe Schmo I've ever seen. Okay, stare at this screen for a second while I go shut my door. Okay, there we go. It looks like it takes 20 years to escape. I mean, technically, if you only do one ending, like, if for some reason you only played one ending and then never played the game again, like, it'd be quitty? Oh my god. It'd be pretty quick to get an ending. a satisfying ending, you know, that's a different story entirely. But getting an ending in Zero Escape technically is easier than you think. Katawa Shoujo, yes. This game was being a little bitch though. It doesn't actually have a Twitch category. And also it was being a pain. I'm just glad that I got it to show on my Streamlabs. Iwanako? I got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Damn it. I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line and that was the result? Pathetic. Yes. I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried. My heart is pounding now, as if it were trying to burst out of my chest and claim this girl for itself. He's about to be in for a rude goddamn awakening. Quitty hitting that gritty. Okay. So, here we are, out in the cold. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The cacophonous noise is music to my ears. Iwanako flinches ever so softly against the gusts of the wind. As it passes, she rights herself, as if supported by some new confidence. Oops, I did not read that. I did not read that. I read something about hair and a finger. So maybe she's twirling her hair. I don't know. All the while, the anxious beating of my own heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out even if I tried. You see, I wanted to know if you'd go out with me. I stand there, motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Hisao? It just got real loud. I reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms. Hisao? I'm not doing so good. My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror. Hisao! The beating in my chest suddenly stops. I go weak at the knees. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky, Iwanako running towards me, all these fade to black. The last things I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanako screaming for help and the incessant chatter of the branches above. This music is giving me such trauma. Lol. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. In that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. I'm still amazed that a bunch of random people on 4chan made this game though. Wait, is that true? Listen, the power when people come together on the internet for good instead of evil is crazy. I'm wondering, like, how recently have you replayed this, Black Blue? Because, like I said, I've not seen anybody play this game since, like fucking 10 years ago. Over 10 years. Some people in a forum decided to make a game together. This was the outcome. Listen, those people with, like, disability fetishes must be eating this game up. I'm sorry. It was the first thing I thought about. I had to say it. But second of all, I am wondering, like, how, in quotes, like, politically correct this is in our year of 2025. I am curious. Listen, it's true, though. I literally watched a video, like, a month or so ago about this person who was in a relationship with another person who had, like, an amputee fetish. And, like, they actually got a surgery to remove one of their limbs for this person because that, like, their partner had, like, an, like, amputation fetish. It's crazy what people are into, like, actually. Yeah. If I can find that video, I'll link it to y'all, but it's wild. Yeah, that's too much. Like, I don't know if I could ever love somebody that much. Like, maybe if it was, like, they need your, what is it, kidney you have two of? I can't remember. If they're like, I need your one of your organs to live and I could give it without dying, like, yeah, that's one thing. But I'm not just gonna chop my arm or leg off just because you like it. Like, what? That'd be like, that'd be crazy. I'm sorry, that'd be crazy. Oh my gosh. I heard that the name of the game is actually pretty offensive. Oh, is it? I don't know what it translates to. I feel like I've heard that before too, though, but I can't remember if that's my brain making up memories based off that one sentence you just said, or actual memories, you know what I'm saying? Funny enough, that was actually an episode of House I saw the other day. Oh, word? I've never seen House. I just know about House and how much of like a dickhead he is. And I'm like, oh god, sorry. If you heard that pop, that was my knee. That was my knee, which is like directly under my mic. I slightly moved it and my knee just went pop. But yeah, I've always wanted to watch House just because I'm like, I want to know how bad he is. Luna, you would love House. Should we watch House together? What is it? Is it on something like that I have? Does anyone know? Where are they streaming House these days? Say I did have that fetish and my partner actually cut their limb off and I didn't ask. I would be weirded out to the extreme by that. Yeah. I don't know. That'd be so weird. And I would never want to ask them and be like, I just think it's really hot if you cut your arm off. Like, that'd be crazy. These two girls were dating and one was about to break up with the other, but she ended up getting sick. So the healthy one gave her kidney to save her life, knowing it would guilt trip the other into not breaking up with her. That's insane behavior. I hope I don't ever get in a relationship with somebody like this. I watch it on Prime. Dang, I don't have Prime. Well, technically I do because my sister pays for Amazon Prime, so sort of. We should amputate that knee for kink reasons. Yes, of course. Let me get the bone saw. Anyway, sorry. Back to the game. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts. So, I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Wait, I know they probably just said it, but I missed it. So, did they say how long he was in the hospital for? Because, like, if they said it, it was probably, like, the screen before or the one before that, and I just missed it, but 4 months? Okay. You're right, it literally says it right there. Ah! Alright, guys, so that was our stream for today. It's been really good, so I hope you guys enjoyed. No, that might be my worst one yet. That might be my worst one yet, you guys. I literally just read it too. Like, that might actually be my worst one yet. Please put me down. I don't deserve to be sitting here. Arrhythmia. A strange word, a foreign alien one. One that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. Actually rare? It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course there isn't a cure. Because of the latest discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get-well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. I'm not gonna lie, this will hurt my feelings. This will hurt my feelings. Like, oh dang, they didn't even send this to me because they like me. They sent it to me because they had to, bruh. I was taken aback when a close friend of mine said he really liked this dating sim. Am I wrong for judging? I mean, I guess we're gonna find out, because it's been a long time since I've played it, so honestly, like, I don't remember too much of the content itself. I don't think it's that rare. Maybe at the time it was, because, I don't know, medicine and discovering illnesses has gotten better. Maybe it's something like that. I'm not sure. Not close friend equals. That's crazy. There are a wide range of arrhythmias, some harmless and some lethal, some common, others rare. He's got whatever the rare one is, I guess. Maybe when he starts if he starts listing symptoms, we'll be able to diagnose him. I like this dating sim. That being said, I can see how people would judge. Yeah, because like when you're like, oh, it's a dating sim where all the girls have disabilities. They're like, oh, so you have a weird fetish. You know. I remember liking the story and characters, but I can't say for the writing. I don't remember it though. This was also my first visual novel, so the nostalgia may be hitting hard. Honestly, yeah, it was like one of my first visual novels too. I watched, if anybody knows him, Chilled Chaos. He still streams and stuff now, which I'm happy about. I'm like, if you know the Creature Hub, my favorite creature was Z, and he's still up and like streaming, so like, you know, my faves are safe, but everybody else, you stay safe. Also, I think I've said this before, but I had named my cat Alex off of one of these Creature Hub members. Fun facts for you. Class project, right? Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. That sucks, like, knowing that, like, you didn't make that much of an impact. Even the person who was wanting you to be their boyfriend didn't come and visit you. Like, that's crazy to me. But, like, it's the truth. Like, it does happen. Iwanako was the last to stop visiting. Oh! It is low-key heartbreaking. It is. At least she, like, was the last. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. To be fair, she probably thought she caused a condition. Yeah, like, imagine that. Like, oh my god, this bro was so, like, stressed or whatever that, like, I made him have a heart attack. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they're in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. Would be a rough way to start a relationship, 100%. I feel like I could see somebody being able to spin it though, like, you know, you feel responsible, so for, like, therefore, like, you want to, you know, get closer or whatever, or like you want to help them and then you end up getting closer, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Where am I? He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So I idly observed the scar that those surgeries left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of omen. Omen? StarClan reference. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answers shows that there's at least some hope. At some point, I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for some more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. But I loved the stories. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass I was trapped inside, instead of moving within. A week could, oh my god, bro. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to start crying. But that happened only rarely, and I couldn't even cry. Today the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. There is this ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time sorting his papers, then setting them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks at me in the eyes for a moment.
Hello, Hisao. How are you today?
I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him.
I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions, you should be fine. We have your medication sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription.
The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly.
So many.
I take it from his hand and take a look myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? The absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. This is insane. Side effects, adverse effects, contradictions, and dosages are listed line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's so futile. I couldn't understand any of it. Attempting to only made me feel sicker. All this for the rest of my life? Every day?
I'm afraid this is the best we can do at this point.
This doesn't make sense medically. Which part? I'm like, I don't know shit about medicine, so I'm like, yeah, sure, man. I'm taking it like I take any, like, medical show or show that has medical shit going on in it. I'm like, yeah, this probably isn't right, but it's, like, close enough.
However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years.
Years. What kind of confidence boost is that? I'd have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all.
Also, I've spoken with your parents, and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school.
What?
Please calm down, Hisao.
Oh, sorry, that's a dad.
Please calm down, Hisao. Listen to what the doctor has to say.
Calm down? The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever my concern shows, it's ignored.
We understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students.
Disabled? What? Am I?
It has a 24-hour nursing staff, and it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of the students live on campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby.
Independence? It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. If it was really that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point.
Of course, that's only if you want to go. But your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple weeks back. I think you'd like it.
Looks like I really didn't have a choice. I wonder how hard it would be to get a voiceover mod for this game. I have no idea. I really don't have much ideas or clues about modding most games.
Compared to other hard problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education.
This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn opportunity.
Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and while it's not the same one...
A special school. That's an insult. That is what I wanted to say. It's a step down.
It's not what you think. All the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help, in one way or another. Your father's right, and many of the graduates of this school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of my colleagues at another hospital is a graduate.
I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability? That's what a disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me, but what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny. I'd always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now, something about how I can go back to school anyway, but no. I don't say anything. The fact is that I know now it's futile. I look around the room, feeling very tired of this. The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this. But the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That is all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something. Even if it's a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start, and my life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will look like. Finish the prologue. Alright, here we go. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. In fact, gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron gates, and gray plaster assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wondered if it looked like what a gate for a school should look like, but couldn't really decide. Probably no. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. So I walked toward the main building of Yamaku Academy with this brisk pace. I'm alone, as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms, and there's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. It doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have, more like a park, with a clean walkway going past trees and the smell of fresh-cut grass and all other park-like things. Words like clean and hygienic pop into my mind. It makes me shudder. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies, too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought I knew about schools. It's an uncanny valley. Even though I was told this is my new school, in the back of my head it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kind of eerie. It makes me wish that there was someone here so I could anchor myself to something tangible instead of having this feeling that I stepped into another dimension. The trees hum with the wind and the green hues flashing around me catch my attention. It makes me think about hospitals again. How they say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a calming color. Is that true? So why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? Only after I stand in front of the haughty main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even if I had no life I could return to. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous and with this realization set in my mind, I held open the front door. A tall man with a bad posture. Damn, hold on. I need chapstick. Did that flashing show for you? I don't think I saw flashing. But maybe I wasn't looking. What was the... What flashed? Or what happened? Maybe I blinked right when it happened. Might have just been screen tearing. Oh, okay. I'll keep an eye on it. So sorry, y'all. A tall man with bad posture notices me as I enter. We're the only people in the lobby, so, I mean, it's only logical. Who's this fuck? Tall man. Okay. With your trench coat on. You must be Nikki? Nakai? So you are. Excellent. I'm your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Muto? Oh, a bit of a strobe effect. Oh, I wonder if it's because I'm in full screen and the pop-ups like make it freak out. Because the game likes to be a little weird. When you change it in and out of full screen, it like does a weird flash. So I think that's what you guys might have seen. It going in and out of full screen so that way the achievement could pop up. Welcome. Yeah, I did not see, unless for some reason I didn't click it when I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, there was only windowed and border or in full screen. And the windowed mode is like a little window. It is not like, you know, big enough to cover my screen. So like I would have been squinting to read that fucking text, y'all. So we gotta do full screen instead. Like it was like the size of what my clan gen normally is before I full screen it. Yeah, this is an old-ass game made by people who probably don't know anything about game design. To be fair, like you said, it's an old game. I don't think they really did borderless window back in the day. I think they usually only did windowed and full screen, so I don't even think it's their fault, like the game designer's fault. I mean, I think they recently put this on Steam, so they could have fixed that, but it's whatever. We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy. And he looks at his wrist watch. I'm gonna pretend it said wristwatch. And not just watch. The head nurse asked you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Am I late? Oh. Should I go later? Yes, afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow, not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. Thinking of this, I almost miss what the teacher is saying. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I mean, isn't that normal? Of course, but not everyone likes to be the center of attention. I'm probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one to give the first impression of myself. Right, but it's no problem. Let's go then. And they say that this is just a port of the original game, not a remaster. That's fair. They would not be updating the game to modern standards. Oh boy. You know when they say that, it's gonna be some wild shit. But yeah, I guess that borderless window feature is one of those things. I would love a remaster. I wonder if that's why this is free. So that way, like, they can cook up a remaster and charge for that instead. Because it would be nice to have, like, one that fills the entire screen, you know what I mean? Updated graphics, updated, like, sprites and stuff. It would be fun, tell me not. My heart is pounding in my chest, and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. The third door down. They nearly had me tongue twisted from that. The third door down, the third floor corridor, is marked as the classroom for class 3-3. Muto opens the door and enters. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late. I hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. Get a grip. This is a big step, I know that. But there isn't any point to worrying so much about it. At least not this soon. Hi, everybody, hi! This is so, like, this art style is so of the time. That's okay, my favorite part, because I'm like, look at the way they draw the eyes. Like, you could tell it's, like, old school. Right? That classic, like, early 2000s art style. The original game was free too, and 4 Leaf Studios does not exist anymore, so legally there can't be a remaster because the copyright isn't up yet for anyone else to take it. Oh, okay. That's weird. That's interesting that they were allowed to still put it up on Steam though. I guess if it's free, they aren't making any money, so there's like no harm. And it was free in the first place, so I guess that makes sense. Oh, okay, that's weird. am seeing what you guys are talking about. I just saw my screen flash on my Streamlabs. Interesting. I don't know why it's doing that. Is it because I'm in full screen? I don't want that to happen for you guys. So if I need to like squint and read it, I will. Here, let me unfull screen it. We'll see. If it keeps flashing, then I'll go back to regular full screen. But if not, I'll just. Can I do this? Okay, there we go. That's the best we got. I'll just squint. If it I don't want you guys to have like some freaking seizures, okay? Let me save. Okay. Damn, bro. I follow the teacher into the classroom and look around, partially so I won't have to meet the curious gaze of my new classmates. Small class. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 girls, 4 boys, plus me, 5. So it's pretty even. It's pretty even. I can't tell if there's a desk over there that somebody's in, but... okay. It's pretty spacious. The ceiling is unusually high, and there's lots of space left over around and in between the desks. I mean, in between the desks is generous. They look kind of close. An entire wall taken up by blackboards, and the high old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. I'm gonna cry. The students' desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books and wooden chairs with metal frames. Simple and efficient. Now, why are they lying? I'm not seeing any shelf underneath for books. Am I tripping? They're calling me a liar. I stop walking in front of the room and face the other students. They all look normal, like students in any other school. But then, why would they be here? They're probably like me and have something wrong with them, only it's just not immediately obvious. Okay, there's more people. Then I notice that one of the girls seems to be missing the thumb of her right hand. It's a little jarring. Okay, wait, there's way more kids in here. I forgot. Oh my god, hey you guys. Hi. Bro, it's me and the boys. Okay, there's a lot of girls in this class actually. Okay, period. Despite the natural tendency to listen when someone's talking about you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduces me to the class. I notice a flash of dark hair and see that someone is looking at me. A girl with really long, straight hair that is pretty eye-catching. As she sees me looking at her, she covers her face with her hands as if it will make her invisible. There is one boy with a cane leaning against the lockers at the rear of the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Another girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language? She peers at me over the rims of her glasses, then goes back to whatever she's doing. She's kinda cute. So is the cheery looking girl with pink hair sitting next to her. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in. Please welcome our newest classmate. He claps his hands and so does everyone else, except one girl in the first row who has who has only one hand. I cringe a little, but hide it by bowing in thanks for this applause I did not deserve. A collective silence tells me I should open my mouth now. So, I'm Hisao Nakai. Hi, everybody. Hi. And after that, I'm assuming we get to pick. My hobbies are reading and soccer. I hope to get along well with everyone, even though I'm a new student. And after that, I'm being so boring. This is exactly like every self-introduction ever. I should say something more exciting. I end up saying nothing, and the teacher picks up from there. Everyone seems to be satisfied, even with what little I said, though. A few girls are whispering to each other, throwing glances at me. It could have gone worse. I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along while letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he does, they clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. The first row girl claps on this round with her one hand against her other wrist that ends up in a bandage. Oh my god, why can't I read, guys? That ends up in a bandage stump. The stump. Patrick Stump. Sorry, word association. It makes me feel a little bad. We're going to be doing some group work today, so that'll give you a chance to talk with everyone. Is that okay with you? I guess. Yeah, it's fine with me. That's good. You can work with Hakamichi. She is the class representative. She can explain anything you might want to know. And who else would be able to do that better, right? How could I know? The teacher passes out the day's assignments and announces that we will be working in groups of 3, the worst number. It hits me that I don't know who Hakamichi is. Slow. The teacher seems to catch my helpless expression. Alright, Hakamichi is right there. Shizune Hakamichi. Hello! As he calls out her name, the cute, bubbly-looking girl with bright pink hair and gold eyes waves her hand at me. I take a seat next to her by the window. Hey, I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you. What? I'm caught off guard by her laughing. It's nice to meet you too, but I'm not Hakamichi. I'm Misha. This is Hakamichi, Shi-chan. Hello. I can't remember who I went after, because I think I also played this myself back then. Not all of it, because, you know, in typical fashion, I abandon everything that I start. Giggling, Misha points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. It looks like she has been staring at me this whole time. She nods once nonchalantly, because she's nonchalant with it, to show that she acknowledges my presence, but only barely. She has short yet carefully, neatly brushed hair, a pair of oval-shaped glasses balanced on the tip of a dainty nose, and dark blue eyes that seem to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. Sorry, my sister was talking to me. The music went so loud. Oh, is it loud now? How's this? Is this good now, or is this too quiet? Let me know. Is that Rin from K-On? Which one? Is this better? Okay, that's better. I don't know, when did it get loud? I think I don't know. Assumed. It's nice to meet you. She immediately looks at Misha, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures with her hands. Hakamichi nods and makes a few gestures of her own. I start to wonder if the teacher was messing with me, saying things like, "You'll be able to talk to people," and "Who better to explain things to you?" I can see you're a little confused, right? But I understand why you would think I was Shikcha? Like, how am I supposed to say that? Shikcha? Shichan? Why is there two C's? Shichan is deaf, so I'm the person who translates things back and forth for her. I'm like an interpreter. She says it's nice to meet you too. You're a new student, aren't you? Well, Shichan, of course he is. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have been standing up there for no reason, right? Right? He seems like a very interesting person, doesn't he? We knew there was going to be a new student, but we didn't know you would be here today. So soon. Hichan, right? Hichan? Because the double C is a sharp ending of the syllable. Fair enough. Yep, it fits, doesn't it? Did I say that out loud? Oh, he just, did I say that out loud? And it's just a surprise. I've never liked that nickname. I don't really see how. It fits. You look just like I imagined. Yeah, you look just like a Hichan. I wonder why everyone seems to think so. Hakamichi taps her fingers on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other excitedly, their hands a blur. Misha seems a little overwhelmed. Sorry about that. Shichan wants you to know that she's the class rep, so if there's anything you need to know, you can feel free to ask her. Do you like the school so far? We can show you around a little if you haven't had the time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it. Misha stumbles with the hard word a bit, making it stick out in her otherwise fluid translation. Thanks. That would be pretty helpful. Yeah, I just came in straight to class today. That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you're going before you go there. Not just with school either. Always. Even if it's a trip to the convenience store. Really, Shichan? Learn about where you're going. I guess I didn't bother to do that. Or just didn't care enough to do so. I don't look forward to this, even if I committed myself to go along with it half-assedly, but anyways. I don't say anything, and Misha signs something back, something that ends in a shrug. What was that? Seems like it was about me. I feel like slumping over my seat. Both of them are smiling, but that shrug hit me unexpectedly deeply.
You look down. Are you okay?
You know. Yeah, like, I'm alright. I'm okay. I don't know. I remember that shit-eating grin. It takes me back.
Don't take it the wrong way, please. I hate it when people are afraid to ask questions. That's how people learn things, by asking. Asking for help is perfectly normal. As much as needing help, stop looking like you just failed a test.
Alright.
And another thing. You don't have to call Shi-chan something so formal like Hakamichi or class rep all the time. Just call her Shi-chan. Okay, maybe that's too casual. Maybe Shizune would be more appropriate?
See, Hydra got me confused. I'm like, is it Shizune or Shizune? Today I saw a balloon.
Yep. Shizune's fine.
Oh, okay, that would be a lot easier for me. I feel a lot more at ease. Both of them seem so friendly, so I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier. Especially about Shizune, who I assumed would be all business. Well, she still seems like that, just less so, I guess.
Huh? Oh, right. We haven't even touched the assignment. We should start work now, or Shi-chan will get mad.
The assignment is also kind of long, so we should start now if we want to finish it before the end of class.
That too.
Shizune glares at the two of us impatiently. I don't need to know sign language to understand that. Okay, I get the message.
After class, we can take a walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day today, okay?
The assignment is actually very challenging to get through, combining aspects of being both difficult and unnecessarily long. Ugh, the worst kind of assignments. Am I right, boys? Wait, that transition flip? Bro, unlocked a memory. Still, we finish it a few minutes earlier than anyone else in the class, despite our late start. Shizune and Misha are really capable. They're quite different, though. The class rep is as calm and professional as she looks, while Misha is a lot more playful and girlish. Not to mention, a little more easily distracted. To be honest, the two of them did most of the work. I feel guilty about it. This frame too. Like they're images that like you haven't seen in probably a long odd time, but you're just like, oh my god, dude, I remember this. No, but yeah, back in the day, if a game was free, I was playing it 100%, bro. The clock tower bells ring, signaling the end of the period. Time for lunch. Without knowing what else to do, I followed Misha, who is beckoning me into the hallway and down the stairs. We descended even below the lobby where I met Mutu, down to the bottom floor. Just like everything in this school, the cafeteria seems too spacious and oddly modern in contrast to the classic exterior. Its big windows open to the courtyard toward the main gate.
It's the cafeteria.
Her enthusiastic statement of the obvious makes people around us stare. But Misha doesn't seem to care, so we proceed to the line. There is a rather long list of menu options, which seem great until I realized that many of them are to accommodate students who need special diets. How nice. It almost feels like I'm back in the hospital eating portions measured with scientific precision to meet the needs of the patients. I pick something at random and follow Shizune to a table, sitting opposite of her. As I nibble indifferently at the food I'd rather not eat, Misha pokes me in the side to get my attention and points to Shizune. I don't understand signs, so the point escapes me. Maybe looking at the person who talks to you is proper and polite?
Do you want to know anything?
What?
About anything. We are your guides, so you should ask us if there is something.
It went quite loud again. The muttering is wild. I didn't turn down the sound effects, so that's probably why. And this is like our first time actually having sound effects. We'll do there. Oh shit. I wonder. I think I got everything I need to know. Ask about the library. Ask what Shizune's deafness is. Well, I want to know about the library. I'm a little reading boy. Oh yeah, is there a library in this school? Lately I've gotten into reading a lot, so I'd like to check it out. Do they have warrior cats there? Misha gives the kind of frown that makes it clear she doesn't consider reading a healthy hobby, but then picks up her smile again.
There it is. It's in the second floor. We can show it to you sometime.
Thanks. I return to my food while the girls talk between themselves. Misha and Shizune sign back and forth very animatedly, throwing sideways glances at me, but Misha refrains from translating. Maybe they are talking about secret girl stuff or something. Listen, I had to know if they had warrior cats, bro. It's a very valid question. I quickly notice a conversation in sign is not just to fill a silence. We arrive in the classroom early, but we're not the first. Hey! That dark-haired girl I noticed before is slumped over her desk in the last row. Girl, are you good? Are you alive? Conscious? I mean, your sprite is, but, you know. She jumps a little when Misha crashes into the room with the elegance of a rhino. She shrinks deeper into her seat. I can feel her tension all the way from here, as if she were slowly turning into stone just from our presence. Misha and Shizune either don't notice or don't mind it, as they walk directly past her to their seats and begin to converse. I'm left wondering about her, even when the classroom slowly fills with other students and finally, the teacher. Getting into the rhythm of school feels strange. It's as if my brain remembers how this is done, but my body doesn't. Towards the end of class, I start yawning and counting the minutes left. Real. I shouldn't be this tired on my first day of school. I mean, all you've done is like lay in bed, bro, and read books. It's understandable. Maybe it's the long time spent in the hospital that made me like this. I'm even feeling physically weak and lifeless. Before long, the final bell rings. School is finally over for the day. Beside me, Misha and Shizune are having a short conversation. After a bit of deliberation, Misha turns to me. Can I help you?
Unfortunately, we can't stay and show you around today, Hichan. We've got to hurry already, since there's a lot of work for us to do.
Okay, bye.
You'll find your way around here, I'm sure of it.
Oh, wait. The teacher said I'd have to see the nurse. Where do I have to go?
Is that so? We can at least show you that much. Come on, the nurses have their own building, so we have to go outside.
We join the flow of students making their way down the stairwell and outside, with the girls pointing out other senior classrooms in the same hallway as ours. When we get outside, the girls make their way toward to a smaller building right next to the school. It's built in the same style, so it looks like it's actually part of the main building.
This is the auxiliary building here. There's a lot of official important stuff inside, like the Yamaku Foundation office and all the nurses' offices. They even have a swimming pool.
How is that official?
Don't be silly, Hichan. It's for physical therapy, of course. Anyway, all of the nursing staff facilities are here too. The head nurse's office is on the first floor. You'll be fine from here, right? We'll be going then. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks. Bye. A whole building for staff that has nothing to do with the actual education? I guess it's necessary for a place like this. Dude, this looks like a fucking dungeon in here. Like, okay, medieval castle walls. Hold on, y'all. I'm getting a drink. Okay, sorry. I walk in, hoping this really will be only a quick visit like the teacher said. On a white door on the left is a green cross with the text head nurse and a nameplate. It sounded like a bit of an invitation to open the door, so I think I accidentally missed the thing, but that's fine. So I invite myself in further. The room is not large and it smells strange. What does that mean? A friendly-looking man turns around on his office chair to face me as I enter. His desk is neat and tidy, but the bin under the table is overflowing with used medical utensils. And there are at least a dozen coffee cup rings lingering on the desk. Oh my god, put me down. Hi, blurple-haired man. I don't know. Hello there. Okay, Nagito Kamada, get off my Nintendo DS. Hello there. What can I do for you today? He is young looking and sort of rugged. Press X to doubt. But the dimples in his cheeks wash that impression away when he smiles. Are you the nurse? He smiles like a person who has heard this very same question hundreds of times. Why, yes I am. It says so on the door, no? You can call me by my name or just the nurse like everyone else. Of course, I shake off my confusion, realizing I probably should grab his extended hand. His handshake is rather firm and friendly. Right, I'm a new student and my homeroom teacher told me to come and meet you. My name is Hisao, Nakai. His eyes light up with revelation. He snaps his fingers. Oh, you're that Nakai. I was just reading your file in the morning. Some kind of chronic arrhythmia related to congenital heart muscle deficiency, right? He gestured to me to sit down in a vacant armchair in front of his desk. Yeah. Good. Well, we've probably been briefed about the school, and you've probably been briefed about the school enough, so I'll just go over this quickly. We have all kinds of facilities available, mostly physical therapy and such. There's always someone from my staff around, even at night, so never hesitate to call us if there's a problem. The famous 24-hour nursing staff. Wow, this is like a hospital. Well, not exactly. For instance, we don't do brain surgery here. His joke feels so out of place that I'm left thinking why he even said it. Yeah, just that it's really weird to have so many medical people at a school. You'll get used to it. I'm not so sure of that myself, but I don't let the nurse know it. Bro, he's already being a hater. Like, give it a shot. I think I just hit that twice. If I did, kill me. But if not, disregard. Now, let me just find your file again. While he searches for something from his computer and shuffles stacks of papers around, I let my gaze wander around the room. Also, y'all, let me know if the screen has like done any flickering at all since I switched it from full screen to windowed, so I can know if I actually have to keep it like this. I let my gaze wander around the room. It's the epitome of generic, I'd like to say. Beige walls and ceiling, and dark gray laminate flooring, and all the equipment you'd expect from a school nurse's office. I haven't noticed anything. I think it was from the Steam overlay, like you said. I think that could be it, but also I noticed it was flickering a little bit like a while ago, and I switched it out of full screen, and I haven't seen it flicker since, so I wonder if it's that. Beige yeah, I read that, never mind. Even the ridiculous educational posters are hanging on all four walls, reminding me to eat properly 3 times a day and from all of the food groupings. Smiling, the nurse draws a thick file from a stack of similarly thick files and opens it. So, you already have medication for arrhythmia. Just remember to take your pills every morning and evening, and it won't be much help. Apart from that, do you do any sports, rash stuff, like, I don't know, boxing? He grins at his own joke, but I don't. Well, I played soccer occasionally with some classmates. Alright, I'm afraid I'm going to have to recommend you refrain from doing that, at least for the time being. Oh. My lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow, but really I'm not too bothered by him forbidding me to kick a ball around. I guess I never did it out of burning passion for the sport, just to have something to do. Any kind of concussion might be very dangerous to your heart, and risking another attack is not a good idea. Was the previous one caused by a sudden concussion to the chest area? There is no mention of the cause in your papers. Yeah, that's embarrassing. I will not be revealing this information at this time. Not exactly. I sidestepped the question acceptably, and he glances at me over his papers with more serious expression on his face. Still, you need to keep your body healthy, so some exercise would do you good. We have physical therapy and such available, as I said, but I don't think you really need such heavy measures. Just some light exercise regularly. Brisk walks or even light jogging, jumping rope, that sort of thing. Swimming, maybe? There's a pool here. So I was told. You were very good. At any rate, I'm sure you've been told this before, but you just need to take care not to overexert yourself or have somebody confess to me again. He wags his finger to emphasize the point. No need, really. I've heard this 1,000 times already. Absolutely no unnecessary risks. Take care of yourself. Okay. He goes over my papers one more time and then sets them on the desk, obviously content. Well, that makes one of us. Dang, now it feels like it's like mad quiet. I'm like, there's no sound here. Good. That's it then. Come meet me if you ever need something. Can do, pal. Can do. I'm ushered out before I realize it. A quick visit indeed. I mean, there wasn't really much to that. It was just like, hey, okay, bye. Bye. I end up standing in front of the main building and the auxiliary building. Although to my eyes they still look one and the same. At the first real look I get at the other students, so it's the first real look I get at the other students. So I watch people coming out of the school, going towards the gates or to the dorms. And do what? Just be a weirdo? Everyone seems to know where they're going. I mean, yeah, because they've been here, so they know what their schedule is. What the fuck are you talking about? I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. Then again, neither do I. Does that make me one of them? One of us? I should go somewhere too to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. The weariness in me only grows as I trudge through the dorms, set a little way apart from the main building complex. Okay. There is a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms. Shrubbery, flowers, and that overbearing smell of fresh cut grass that fills the atmosphere. It dawns on my tired mind that the smell feels novel because I haven't been outside at all for so long. The dorm building is big and made of red brick. Like the others, it feels way too pompous for what it is. So I push forward, going inside. Dude, are these single rooms or are we having roomies? I can't remember. It takes more time than necessary to fish out the key I was given from my pocket. Room 119. Despite the ornate exterior, the inside of the dorm is fairly new, functional, and boring. Just like the main building, the halls and doors are wide to accommodate wheelchairs. The same goes for the elevators at the ends of the hallways. I poke my head around the corner of the common room door. Inside, a few students are watching the television. Word. Wait, hold on. I'm like, hello? There's just nothing? Okay, they're watching the TV. One nods and gives a quick hello before turning back to the TV. Seems that only the girls around here are sociable. I suppose that's perfectly fine with me. I climb the stairs to the upper floor. Here, small corridors branch off into the main hallway. Each of the minor halls seem to have a toilet and shower, as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. The nameplate on the room adjacent to mine are blank, so I guess there are just 2 of us here. Light shines from below the door of room 117, so I knock lightly. Hello? Is anyone home? From inside, I hear a few movements, then the clicking of way more locks than I thought these doors had. After a moment, the door squeaks open. A bespectacled boy is standing in the doorway. He is looking at me very intently, though through his extremely thick eyeglasses. Look at you. Who is it? Blind? No, at least not completely. Why would he have glasses if he was? He leans closer to me until our noses are almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Hisao Nakai. I moved into the next room. I thought I should introduce my. His face suddenly brightens in realization, and he stands back upright, thrusting his hand out in a smiling greeting, almost straight to my diaphragm. Oh, sup, dude? My name's Kenji. Oh, hi. I take Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it, still a little rattled by the sudden change of attitude and vehement welcome. There were some suspicious-looking people going in and out of your room earlier. It was probably my parents. Hey, yo, it's my boy. Your parents? You sure? 'Cause they could have been some other people, too. You can't judge a book by its cover. His out-of-place proverb is left hanging between us awkwardly as I try to think of some way to respond. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures. You're a brave man, Hisao. Me? Me? I don't think I could trust the chances. The only one I trust is myself. Does that mean I shouldn't get to know you either? He thinks about this for a while. A wise decision. Damn, you're smarter than you look. Probably. What do you look like? I hope not smart. He squints his eyes and leans closer again, but I lean backwards to dodge it. Never mind, it doesn't matter. With that, he turns, fumbles around for a moment in search of the door handle, and shuts the door behind him. I slide the key into the lock of the door marked 119. Bleak beige walls, white linen, and a desk made of some type of light wood, ugly curtains. It's no one's room, impersonal like my hospital room was. My bags are sitting at the foot of my bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning. The closet is sitting open, stocked with my clothes. Also, it seems like there are a number of school uniforms hanging there as well. A note is pinned to the sleeve of one of the shirts. Hi, Hichan. We've unpacked your things and made your bed. They said that if these don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow. If you have any problems, you can always call us. Love, Mom and Dad. At least I don't have to worry about unpacking. It's crazy that they didn't even say goodbye to me. Like, low-key. I mean, I guess they would have been waiting for, like, all day. But still. I guess we said goodbye when we parted ways at the start. I kind of hoped I would have. Then there would be something to do. I think once again I didn't read something. It's still too early. I put the note down on the desktop and lie down on the bed, feeling drained. Do nap time, baby. Lying there made me want to read something, but I have nothing with me. I wonder if the hospital conditioned me for wanting to read whenever I have nothing to do. I mean, it's not a bad habit. The restless urge just keeps growing until I have to stand up. Maybe it's stress or something. I was pretty nervous about it before coming, and for the entire day today too. I still am, I think. Damn. I have to distract myself somehow, so I won't be this unnatural all the time. Unnatural? Girl, what? Tomorrow I'll go borrow some books from the library. Yeah, I'll do that. But for now, the bottle of medications neatly arranged on my night table catch my eye. It's pill time. I pick up one and shake it just to hear the contents rattle inside. Then read the glued-on pharmacy label. Hisao Nakai, 2 tablets daily to stay alive. It doesn't really say that, but it could just as well. It's kind of twisted having your life depend on chemicals like this. I resent it a little, but what choice do I have? With a sigh, I begin my new daily ritual of taking the right number of pills from each bottle, being careful to check the correct dosages. I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain, and after that, I keep staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time. It doesn't start looking any more familiar, not even after darkness falls and long shadows draw over my room like fingers. The sheets feel slightly more comfortable, warm and nest like against the chill that passes for room temperature here. Soon, the lighter shade of darkness that is the ceiling looks like every ceiling does at night and becomes the only thing I recognize anymore. The night beckons me to sleep, and I feel the coldness of unfamiliarity and fear creeping up my spine once again. I keep drifting further away from the world I knew. Wait 1 second, y'all. Wait, hold on. I want to check something. Because, like, why is there just, like, no audio? Like, hello? Is there just, like, no audio here? Or... I wake up in a strange room. Interesting. Like, is there just no audio till we get to school? Or what? I don't even know. Sometimes they just didn't have music in the game. I was like, it's so quiet. I feel like I can hear my thoughts. Okay. Solid morning light shimmers against the light gray ceiling. I had forgotten to draw the curtains closed last night. I mean, it's kind of good, though, considering you probably didn't set an alarm. Girl, you're probably late for class. This is my room, isn't it? My room. Oh, here's the music. This is the third room this year that I'm supposed to call mine. Various things around here remind me that indeed it's me who's supposed to be the one living here. My bag's on the floor, my new school books on the desk, my numerous medications on the night table. I stare at the bottles for a moment, deliberating, until I open a bottle, shake out a pill, and pop out a tablet from a foil sheet. I down them with a chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. My uniforms are in the closet. I slink out from under the sheets and stretch my back before dressing up. Putting on a new school uniform feels like dressing in someone else's clothes. The artificial smell of generic detergent invades my nose, but the feeling of fresh cloth against my back is a good one. A natural one. It feels like a school uniform, as it should. It's not much different from what I used to wear before. That goes for other things, too. So far, this place seems more or less like a normal school. Except for the people. I think back to my talk with Kenji yesterday. Misha's constant laughter and Shizune's sweeping sign and language gestures. Well, I've only met 3 students so far. Maybe they aren't that normal, but I'm sure others are. Or perhaps people like them are what passes for normal around here? What does pass for normal around here? What do people do? I didn't see a lot of kids hanging around after class yesterday, so maybe there are clubs? If so, I wonder if I should join one. All through class, the question remains on my mind, so I decide to ask Shizune about it when we split into groups. After all, she did say if I had anything I wanted to know, I should ask her. She crosses her arm and shifts her gaze slowly to Misha, who looks more preoccupied with trying to grind the eraser of her pencil down so that the top is perfect and evenly flat. Oh my gosh, sorry. Once again, blame my sister. I guess they're trying to control the mood by only playing music when they want you to feel a specific way. The lack of music might also be a statement on Hisao's state of mind. That is probably true. That is probably true. I'm just like, dang, bro, I'm becoming too aware. I guess it is working.
Sorry, Shi-chan. Is there something you wanted from me? Oh, I see. That's a good question, Hee-chan.
My first thought is that means she doesn't know, which is worrying. Maybe I'm being too negative? Anyways. Misha, please don't prove me right.
Oh, that's right. Everyone is encouraged to join the club. A lot of people do so because there isn't really anything else to do. There are also school events, like the festival coming up in a few days.
Convenient. I mean, there usually is always like a festival at the start of like these school years, so it's actually not that sus. It is just convenient timing. It's like, hey man, we need to know whose route you want to go on, bruh.
There are also school events like the festival coming up in a few days. Almost every student in the school tends to help out with it, doing whatever. So, you actually transferred in at a busy time. Maybe you can help out too.
Sure. What's the festival about? Misha freezes.
I don't know. Hee-chan, the truth is, it's a local event, and I'm not from this area, so...
She starts signing desperately to Shizune, asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of an oddly grandiose flourish and starts signing hard and heavy. Hey, yo. What is it?
Huh? Okay. Oh. Who cares?
Misha puffs her chest out and shouts Shizune's words out at me with a disproportionate amount of pride. Thanks. Too loud, I can see heads turning to look in our direction. Stop, you're embarrassing me. I'm trying to be a normal. No, I'm kidding. Not so loud.
Human beings evolve with each new generation. The ideals and beliefs behind the festival will inevitably change with time. Huh. Now it's about delicious fried food and amusing little games that you play to win prizes.
The teacher clears his throat very loudly, batting his long wooden pointer against his palm like a baton. He shoots a pointed gaze at us. Finally noticing where we are, Misha stifles a yelp and quickly quiets down. Shizune doesn't seem embarrassed at all, though, brushing it off without a care.
We are in the middle of class and should start working. That's right, Chichan. What? That's right. Hee-chan, are you asking because you're interested in joining a club?
It could be, but it could have been my eyes playing tricks on me, but I think I saw a suspicious glance exchange between them. Misha's tone had also changed, though it does that every other word anyway. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Misha and Shizune look at each other again. I'm about to ask what they have in mind when something dark flutters in my peripheral vision, catching my attention. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the girl with long, dark hair get up from her desk and slip silently towards the door. It doesn't seem like she was working in any group, so no one seems to notice her but me. I glance at the teacher, who's also looking at the dark-haired girl, go, why doesn't he say anything?
Hee-chan, is something wrong?
Do I look as uneasy as I feel? Or was Misha just looking at me, or was Misha just looking at me, looking after the girl who left? No, nothing.
Huh? Okay. Well, like we were asking, you don't have any plans for lunch today, do you?
I thought I would go to the library and pick up some books. Not really.
Do you want to go...
What? Do you wanna
Do you want to have lunch together then?
Sure.
Yay! Okay, Hee-chan, perfect.
Period. The rest of class passes uneventfully. The girl with the long hair never came back, though. Hope she's alive. Before I have time to put any more thought into where she could have gone... What happens? The teacher informs us that it's time to stop working. Did we finish in time? Shizune looks more than a little annoyed that we only just barely managed to finish all of our work on time. I'm just glad we finished it at all. It's not a contest or anything.
Yes, it is, Hee-chan, huh?
Impossible.
Really?
Really. I've noticed this before, but it's kind of funny how Misha is always moving her hands and signing not only everything she says, but what anyone else is saying at any given time. Obviously, it must be so Shizune can understand it. Her eyes dart back and forth between me and Misha's hands. Between Misha's hands and me. I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm talking to Misha, but that might be wrong. Maybe I should face Shizune. I'm used to looking in the direction of the person whose voice I'm hearing, but really... Shizune can't hear me, but it would be disrespectful to talk to her only through Misha. Then again, isn't that what she's doing? No, she's at least looking at me. This is all very confusing and will take some time to get used to. It's not a contest, because contests are competitions over a prize. If there's no prize on the line, it's not even a contest. Shizune's eyes flash dangerously with a competitive glare. She stares at me as if, surprised that I'm challenging her. I think maybe this is a contest to her. I never noticed before how dark and blue her eyes are. It's a truly alluring gaze.
Are you sure, Hee-chan?
Very sure.
You're wrong, Hee-chan, because I don't want to be the slowest one in the class. Therefore, what's on the line is my confidence in my abilities, and the prize is the satisfaction of proving them.
Shizune pushes her glasses up the bridge of her nose in a very matter-of-fact way. I don't even remember what the fuck we were talking about, to be so for real. She would be so good on the debate club. Misha? I'd argue more, but the bell rings. Oh, Shizune. Word. And she quickly gets up and picks up her bag, looking at me expectantly. I'd almost forgotten that I was supposed to have lunch with them. I agreed just moments before. Yes.
Where do you want to eat?
The cafeteria?
That's so plain. Okay, let's go.
Plain? Well, I guess. At my old school, I liked to eat outside near the back of the building. It was a good spot, but I didn't find it until near the end of my freshman year. I wonder if there's a similar place to eat here. Misha seems to imply as much. The one character who can't speak is funnily enough, one of the most outspoken characters. I feel like that's just how it is though. Like you can't talk out loud, so you gotta find a way to be sassy through other means. So it just it hits harder. It hits better. Shizune and Misha pull me toward the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students favor eating in the classroom or outdoors. I saw some of my classmates had boxed lunches. After we finish eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier.
So, Hichan, you wanted to know about clubs and stuff, right? Right, Chichan? Okay, I guess it makes sense to ask first.
Exchanging little nods of confirmation, they turn to face me again, and Misha straightens her posture as if she's about to deliver a speech. I'm gonna have a little bit of pizza as a treat, but we have music, so it's less awkward if I pause.
Hichan, do you have anything you're really interested in?
I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the teams and players or anything like that. As of late, I usually just read a lot.
There's a book club, right, Chichan?
They're plotting.
Right? But, it seems like they have all the members they can possibly have right now. Sorry, Hichan. It's a really popular club.
Why do I feel like she's capping right now?
Okay, but more to the point, Hichan, does this mean that you don't have anything already in mind?
Not really.
Good! Great! That's great, Hichan. Really great!
Why is it so great?
No reason. Well, Hichan, other than clubs and the upcoming festival, there is one other thing. Student council.
I see. I didn't know this school had a student council. That was a very melodramatic step up, though, just to tell me that. I'm pretty sure the two of them know this because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it and Misha is laughing. Shizune quickly retakes control of the discussion in a manner of speaking. After all, it's still Misha who has to voice whatever she says.
Right. Hichan, maybe you should join the student council. They could use more people. Yes, definitely. You should definitely join.
Why?
Well, for one, you could hang out. We could hang out every day, Hichan. Shichan and I are both in the student council.
Hey man, I gotta check out my options, my dating options, alright? You can't just gatekeep me. I was gonna say, didn't they tell me this before, or am I tripping? I swear they told me that she was, like, the president.
Actually, Shichan is the president.
I'm starting to get the suspicion that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk about this with. You think? Oh, class rep, you're right. Okay, you know, it's not that far of a leap. Mr. President, get down, Mr. President! As if reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusts her glasses and signs something to Misha. Like, damn, my fault. I didn't realize she was the GOAT like that. She owns the school, basically. Why did I think you had that as an audio redemption? Oh, no. I think the closest one I have is, like, the FBI one.
Of course, we're not trying to get you to join just because we would obviously benefit from you joining the student council and therefore have an incentive to try to get you to join.
So you're admitting that.
No, we admit nothing. I mean, Hee-chan, of course it would be nice if you joined and we'd appreciate it. But even without all that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in the workings of one's school. Yep, it's true, Hee-chan. Besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school, Hee-chan?
I can't tell if she's being genuine or if this is really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying hard to look their cutest. Though they really they are already pretty cute to begin with. Listen, I don't know what I want. Well, what, bro? I didn't even say yes.
So it's settled then. Welcome to the student council, Hee-chan.
What? No, no.
Aw, see, Shi-chan? Of course it wouldn't go so easily. Huh. Yep, that's right. Though, it would be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well, Shi-chan owes me candy now.
You are betting on it? Hey, my life is not a game here. My life is like a video game. Shizune seems very intrigued by this when Misha signs it to her. The aggressive glint returns to her eye. Bruh.
That's interesting, Hee-chan. Let's play a game.
That is not what I said.
How about rich man, poor man, Hee-chan? If you lose, you have to join the student council.
No, absolutely not.
Aw, why not?
Well, because you two both have the same incentive, therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right? What is this bitch gonna say?
Yep.
Yeah, that isn't my goal. But what this means is that both of you can team up and I'll be at a clear disadvantage, so I will have to decline.
Hee-chan, I'm very I'm very offended. Are you saying you don't trust us and that we would pull something so disingenuous? That makes me sad.
Sorry? It's hard to tell where Shizune's influence ends and Misha's thoughts begin.
In order to atone for hurting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student council.
No,
How about a game of paper football then instead of rich man, poor man?
paper football?
Yeah, it's a game they play in America.
I've like never played it.
They make a paper triangle, and then you try to shoot it past goalposts that are the other player makes with their fingers. Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, Hee-chan.
You ever heard of good old-fashioned thumb wrestling?
And it's also played by elementary and middle school children. Shi-chan? That means it's a game that really separates the boys from the men.
More like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not going to play that either. Just the fact that you know about it means that you're probably surprisingly good at it.
Yeah, that's true. How did you know, Hee-chan?
Shizune frowns at Misha, telling me that she probably wasn't supposed to admit that so readily. She's like, plausible deniability, bro. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with their attempts to get me into the student council, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. I've never been on one before, or even known anybody who was a member, so it interests me. I also kind of like Shizune and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
Okay, Hee-chan, how about Risk? The game of world domination.
I hate Risk, no. I don't know what that is.
It's really fun, Hee-chan. You fight for control of the world with armies and everything.
Sounds like Shizune would be good at it.
If you want to play, we can after school. Aw, really, Shi-chan? We can play just for fun, Hee-chan. Shi-chan hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there's no strings attached.
Well, okay.
Okay. Perfect. We'll see you after school in the student council room then, Hee-chan.
Wait, why there?
Because that's where we keep the game.
I grimace and tell them how much I do not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So, in the end, I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete just by accepting to look around and play a game with her. We're not joining the student council, maybe, probably. Lunch ends and we go back to class. It's that fucking girl again, bro. How come she can just ditch class? During afternoon classes, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a word. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want to be nosy. See, I'm nosy. I'll be like, hey, who's that? After school, I was swiftly kidnapped by two girls I just met 2 days ago. Sorry, 1 day ago. After school, Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. I feel a little offended, but I'd been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the past that they're on guard. What's with the escort? This doesn't feel very comfortable. In fact, it made me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to his cell.
What's wrong, Hee-chan? That's right. We're just going to play a game of Risk, remember?
I don't know, Misha. This is all feeling a little bit sinister to me. I start thinking that when we sit down to play the game, they'll tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. I don't know if we'll go that far. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still. For some reason, it just seems like it would be so plausible. Getting to the student council room is as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. What? That's it? This makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly.
That's not true, Hee-chan. Shi-chan says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull off superhuman bursts of speed.
Life is threatened? Her expression unchanging, Misha signs something amusedly to Shizune, who makes a baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerily. Stop that, I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It's a very plain, sparsely decorated room, although it is quite large, maybe even a little larger than a classroom. Well, I mean, makes sense. I can't believe there's only like 2 people on the student council. That's crazy. There's a big table in the center surrounded by chairs, and a smaller desk prominently placed in the back that I assumed is Shizune's. There are a few regular desks and chairs stacked up to one side as well. Extras, perhaps? Yeah, extras that we don't need. Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer. Just a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else. In fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They could at least put a potted plant in here or something. But the most noticeable thing that this room doesn't have is other people. Are we early? They're like, we forgot to tell you. We're the only members. I mean, the way they were desperate as hell, like, I could tell.
No.
What do you mean, no? Does it mean nobody else is coming today? Wherever.
Yeah, that's right.
Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically.
Hee-chan, let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain to you while we set everything up.
While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. Bro, I hate learning board games, like, kill me. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started with a decisive motion, slicing her arm through the air. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I can start feeling more competitive than I intended to be when I agreed to this. Okay, catch him. Halfway into the game, while I try to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assault from 2 fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention.
Hee-chan, Shi-chan wants you to know that you're taking too long to make a move. Shi-chan also says that she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council.
I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows that I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no. No.
Shi-chan admires your fighting spirit. Shi-chan admires your fighting spirit and would like to be a benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council.
You're so competitive, Shizune. She seems to take this as a compliment. I would expect the student council president to be a little bit more oh god, anyways. This is me, but actually just actually.
Magnanimous.
She doesn't know what the word means or how it's signed, so she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who in return signs it back to Misha. Misha presses her index finger to her temples, as if trying to physically imprint the word into her memory. Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing.
Wait, slow down, Shi-chan. Hee-chan, Shi-chan says you're going to lose.
Tell her I will crush her world empire with my rebellion.
Okay.
Those eyes of hers shine with childlike mischief. Sorry, I just saw this sprite.
She says you have no chance if you keep playing like this. No, you won't.
Ooh, what should we do? It's a trap. It's smarter to play defensively here, or she has to point attack aggressively. What should we do? The best defense is good offense. Straight. Okay. Charge straight ahead. Oh boy, here we go. But what if it's a double bluff? Alright, let's attack. That's what you wanted. She is either really mocking me or trying to trick me. I have nothing else to lose, though, so I might as well try something different. Maybe if I spread out my forces and try to control more territories, I can recoup the advantage. Shizune seems to focus on conquering whole nations, so maybe I can sacrifice my hold on continents to grab more small countries. It's worth a shot. A few turns later, I end up losing the game anyway. Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist in the air in celebration. Wow, dude. I'm being dunked on.
I win, yay!
There's no need to translate that. It was pretty clear. Fuck you.
Don't look so sad, Hee-chan. You're really giving it your best. That's what I thought. Sometimes your best isn't good enough, though. If anyone knows that, it's me. You did very well for someone who just learned how to play today. Hee-chan, you attacked Iceland and North America at the same time. That's a very daring move. Shi-chan is impressed. The mark of great people is that they are daring and that they could follow through. You're already halfway there, isn't that right? Isn't that great, Hee-chan? That isn't enough, though. Just potential isn't enough. There is no point to potential if you don't take the first step. There's no point to that if you don't keep going. I want to see more. You're right, Shi-chan, but that's so demanding.
Watch you get closer to me. Shizune leans forward, suddenly looking a lot less playful and more like the serious person I expected her to be from the start.
Hee-chan, would you like to join the student council?
She really doesn't waste any time, does she? But It's only my second day of school, so I'm hesitant about committing to something so early. I haven't even taken a look at any other clubs yet. But spending time with Shizune and Misha doesn't seem like something I would hate. I still need more time to think about it before I decide for sure. Sorry, I've got to see my other dateable options before I lock in. Maybe. I'll get back to you on it.
Okay, Hee-chan, but I hope you're not just saying that so we don't feel bad.
No, really.
Really? Hee-chan, if you're going to say that, you're saying that like it's definitely the truth, and there can't be any mistaking it.
It's true, it's true. I know. I guess I should have my revenge for losing at the very least. Not that face. Shizune smiles at that in a mischievous way that feels like twisting the knife in the wound of my loss. I take a glance at the clock at the wall and realize I have spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library, but it's not closed yet, right? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall.
It should be, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Chi-chan. Well, we think the library's open. It's on the second floor, can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is?
No thanks, it's okay. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
But before we go to the library, we're gonna do a quick BRB. So let me get you your little lo-fi beats, and we'll be back in a bit. Yo, welcome back. Word. Anyways. Sorry, I'm back, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did BRB just to full on eat that pizza. I was hungry as fuck. Sorry. I needed it. I needed it. Papa needed sustenance. I wasn't ready to stop playing. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna hold out till the end of stream. It'll be fine. But, like, I'm not ready. I want to meet more of the girls before I end stream. You know what I mean? It is that cat. It is. Eat Yo Pizza. Thank you guys. Thank you for supporting me in my pizza endeavors.
E-ah-ah-ooh-ee-ah.
Should I play it again? Listen, I love this little cat. Thanks, cat, for covering me while I was chugging water. All right, now I'm locked in, bro. I'm locked in. I don't need to focus on nothing else. The pizza is eaten. I'm sustenized. Move this out of the way. Not that out of the way. Jeez. One flight of stairs up, and I run into problems. Right, we're going to the library. If anybody somehow forgot in like the 2 seconds we were gone, which understandable. Have a nice day, but still. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one. Of course, it's wide. It's wide and plain, like only hallways can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but there are a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the latter and choose my direction at random. After I turn around, after I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either, just barely ajar so that I can't see it's open and nothing else. It would make sense for the library door to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it means that someone is inside and I can ask for directions no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to this school can't be shaken from my mind. So much so that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. Like, you should have knocked, maybe. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, though is much easier to open than I anticipated. Period. Okay. Leaning over and poking my head even further inside to gain sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek hello on my lips is quickly snatched away. Okay, who's in here? There's definitely a love interest in here. Oh my god, it's this girl. I don't know. This is not as I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing in the doorway leaving me standing at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently, having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me.
Why, hello there. May I help you?
Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me she's a being separate from the room itself. She's not like a ghost haunting the place. Oh, also, I just realized I still have my music thingy, or my Spotify up. I was like, where's my chat? I can't see. I would assume she's the fan favorite. Oh, this girl. That cat do got bars though. It does. Every time I hear one of the like remixes, I'm like it hits every time. I'm like, damn, bro, this might be better than the OG, like than the original version of whatever song it's singing. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but okay, so he says the tallest girl. Now, what height is that really? Be so fucking for real. But even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. Hi, sorry for intruding. I was just kind of lost. She's 8 foot? Damn. No, I'm kidding. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. It could be.
Care to take a seat?
Unexpected, considering I was intruding upon her. Thanks? Thanks. I slowly stepped towards another seat opposite her. The girl rested the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling. That and the slight cloudiness to her eyes means she must at least be partially blind, like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office.
I take it you're a new student at Yamaku.
Yeah. I just transferred in yesterday. No detectable accent, just like me. Yeah. Just like you. Did I read this? Oh, I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting. One which I hastened to match before realizing the futility of the action. I knew her name was Lily. I was like, why is she giving Lily? And then I didn't want to say it, but I was right.
I'm Lily Sato. Pleased to meet you.
Hisao Nakai, obviously. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly to the direction of her teacup.
Would you care for a drink?
Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind of nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along the shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I'd never had thought about. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offer preparing the drink.
So,
Her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance.
which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school.
The school library. Shizune and me, some class. You already said one full whole name, bro. I don't know what. Just commit at this point. I was gonna say she looks like a Lily, but then I'm like, I didn't know if people would take that in a bad way. But I'm like, she's definitely giving like she's supposed to be like the soft girl. You know what I mean? Which, like, her archetype can really go, like, one of two ways. And I'm like, I don't know if it's my favorite, but we'll see. We'll see. The school library. Shizune and me, some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water from the teacup and as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it's being stirred.
I am aware of Miss Hakamichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no?
Yeah, that's right. In the science room with Muto. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand.
He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him.
Most do. Oh, really? Well, you know, I could be built different, maybe. All right? You don't know me. You don't know me. I'm kidding. Oh my god, guys. It's us. It's us. Oh my god. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. It's really more of I'm really more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Here, let me have a sip. Let me have a sip. No, there's definitely good tea right here. Let me stir it up. Let me stir up the tea. Nonetheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. I'm definitely you know. Thanks, Sato. It tastes really nice. I don't know how else to describe it besides really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face.
Lily, please. There's no need to be too formal.
She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So, which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes.
Correct. I'm in class 3-2, which is on the 3rd floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and it's specifically for both blind and partially blind students.
I see. Fuck! I mean, sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the faux pas. Looking at her face, though, she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it.
My, there's no need to change your speech on my account.
Sure. Sorry, I guess. I'm really showing my newness here.
An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many here have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would include her, it seems. All too ready to jump ship from this particular topic, I segue into another. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at. I come here fairly often during lunchtimes. My duties as class representative don't leave time for an official club, so I'm afraid. So a friend and I use this room for having tea.
Class rep, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune's blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join? Yeah, give me the real tea. What tea were you drinking? Oh, you know, just Dunkin' Donuts strawberry colada, my favorite tea, for real, for real. Ah, yes, your sip emote. I hope you are lifting your pinky 100%, 100%. Yeah, so what kind of clubs can I join?
The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the fields near the school during lunch times, the baseball club, and the book club in the room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, though, such as art and music clubs.
At time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if the school shares the same rule as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club?
It isn't, though it is encouraged.
Ah, good, that's a relief. I really let my guard down around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact slightly seems to amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. Have a little sippy. Hold on, hold on. Oh, you guys, sorry, I just thought about something. You know how when we were playing Monster Camp the other day, and I found out that the Fear Shadow guy was voiced by Octopimp, and I was talking about how Octopimp was like well known for his like Homestuck dubs. I had a video come across my TikTok For You page. Sorry, the music is loud again. I had a video come across my For You page. That was talking about how Octopimp said that he was gonna private all of his like old Homestuck comic dubs. Fan comic dubs, not like the actual Homestuck. And I was like, hey yo, I ran to the channel and I watched the video, and luckily it was only 5 days ago, and he said in a week, so I was like, quick, we gotta download everything we want to save now. So that's what I was doing last night. I had to stop what I was doing to do that. Okay. As I look over to the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. Ha! The time's gone quickly.
Sorry? Sorry?
Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. It just looks like the sun is starting to set. Seems to come as a surprise for her. Guess she must have lost track of the time.
Sorry, Hisao. I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long.
I quickly moved to allay her concern. Oh, no, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case.
True. It's open until 6:30 most weekdays.
A quick glance at my watch confirms I have well enough time to get there. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her.
It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you where the library is?
I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it all right. Well, unless my navigational skills fail me. Which they seem to have a habit of doing.
It's alright. I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I should introduce you.
This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, then that'd be great, thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight retractable cane that had been slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. Word. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looked much thinner and longer. His must be for support, where Lily's is for navigation. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hall on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers, we slowly walk through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door to the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor rather than either wing. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative smile at the gesture, taking the lead as we file in. To the left is the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. It easily dwarfs my old school's library, with the distinct smell of old books giving the place an almost old world air. What does that mean? It's old. There don't seem to be a lot of students here. Considering the time, it isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in the school grounds or the dorms.
Yuko, are you here?
She says it to thin air since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that it draws a reaction. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. Curl, are you good?
Aww.
Oh, hey. I was like, who's talking to me? The origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up to extremely rigid attention. Okay. Oh god. My knee broke again. What voice should I give you?
Hi, Lily. How can I help you?
Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual, and she's rubbing the back of her head. Did you just give yourself a concussion, low-key?
Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound.
Oh, what happened? Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it. Bro definitely didn't just crack her skull open. Don't. It's so good, Pookie.
It's nothing. Just hit my head. Teehee. See, I dropped an eraser under my desk while I was looking for it, and a pencil dropped. And when I was looking for both of them, you came and surprised me. Are you alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't know. It's okay. It's okay. Sorry for making you worry. This is nothing. I've had worse happen to me.
She's quick to reverse Lily's apology, almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter.
Yes. Oh, yes. Worse things have happened.
The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression, and then she shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, replete, I guess, with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look, she seems to fit a library perfectly.
Lily, did you get my message? Message? Oh, the 2 imported books that arrived. Right. They finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but...
Amidst her celebrations, partially for managing to change the topic, I'm sure, she notices me from the counter and from the corner of her eye, and freezes on the spot when she does.
Oh no, I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Did you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry.
The way she can so quickly shift between moods is a little unsettling.
He's with me, Yuko. This is Hisao, a new student, period. Hisao, this is Yuko, school librarian.
Pleased to meet you.
Hisao, right, Hisao. Pleased to meet you too, Hisao.
For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind so she won't forget.
Yuko often arranges to import foreign books in Braille for me. Would you like to tell Hisao something about the library?
Lily's innocent suggestion is met with an expression of abject terror.
Please, Lily, I can't. I don't know what he could be interested in. This is too much responsibility.
Now, how it's any responsibility at all, I don't get, but her objection is so sincere, I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on this spot than tell me where the light novels are. You know, understandable. Have a nice day.
But...
So, there are a lot of books in Braille here? I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that pops into my head. It seems to work at least partially, as Yuko seems to not exactly relax, but at least look slightly less tense. Which is a good thing, right, boys? Right? Exactly.
Well, I think about a third or a fourth of Yamaku's library is either Braille or audio.
Braille or audio. So you're putting them together. Okay, fair enough. Yes. Makes sense given all the blind students that be here. If it's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place?
Well, we get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why.
I mean, such a wild way to put that, I think. Is that just me? I felt like that was a crazy way to word all of that.
They spend more on new books than on my salary, and then I have to organize and shelve them all.
Average librarian moment, I fear. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Yuko.
It's so troublesome and they waste so much. I wish I could just quit this job.
A very awkward silence follows this revelation of too much information. Poor girl. Shawty's just stressed. And I get it though, man. I mean, I'm not a librarian, but you know, I've been watching those librarians that pop on my For You page or whatever. And I be seeing how much they be doing, so I kind of believe her. I'll go check the aisles then. You don't mind. It's probably best for all of us if she doesn't keep talking to me.
Very well. Meanwhile, Yuko, I would have those books if it's all right with you.
I'm going to start saying my library is adequately endowed. I mean, they would spend more on the books than on her salary. This is common sense, I fear. You know what she meant. Leave her be. She can barely talk as is. My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. I mean, why not, bro? People love to read, and it's, you know, it's the early 2000s or something. Or something like that. Ambling down the narrow aisles. Oh, finally, the things are narrow here. I was like, oh, wow. It was a little bit too, what's that? What is ADA? ADA compliance? Something like that? I don't remember. I study the spines of the books in random order, occasionally sliding one out to read the blurb, taking it with me if it looks good. A few moments I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. What do you think is respectable for him? I guess I'll never be stuck for a choice here and here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there are large print and braille books scattered throughout, but it is what it is, a library. It's as if the calm mood of the from the room I had tea with Lillian snuck with us in here. Unless it was here to begin with. Something about that put me at ease, and just like before, I reached the end of the aisle to find a collection of desks set up for study or personal reading. Going a little further, though, I discover a nice quiet corner on the back. While the rest of the library has the odd students sitting at the desk either reading or stealthily sleeping, the back is pretty much deserted. Oh my god. As I glance around, I see somebody who I recognize sitting in one of the several bean bags. Somebody we recognize. We only know like 3 people. So it's either Nisha, Shizune, or Kenji. Because I don't think it would be, what's her name? Lily, considering he would have just said it was Lily. Oh, it's this girl. Sorry, I forgot about her too. It's the dark-haired girl from my class. The one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes her look like she's really into it. She's not holding the book right up to her face in this picture. They're lying. They're lying to me. What? People will go on the internet and tell lies? From the way she was acting today, I had her pegged as more of a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious disappearance from class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue floats slowly but surely towards the surface, and before I know it, I'm walking toward the mysterious long-haired girl. I guess there's no harm in introducing myself as I would with anyone else. She's a classmate after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take a seat and lay my books beside it. The girl starts looking scaredly up at me from underneath her fringe. This is the first time I've seen her this close. Underneath her long, dense bangs, I can see that part of her face, at least a third if not half, is pretty badly scarred. My eyes are immediately drawn to the scars, subconsciously peeking past her hair until they meet her own eyes. For a second I am shocked and divert my eyes to the book in her hands, before realizing that looking away probably only made it worse. Yeah. It takes far too many seconds to collect myself, remember what I walked up to her for. Hi, I'm new here. Hisao, Nakai, we're in the same class. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. Listen, I'm just gonna be cash and normal. Hi, I'm new here. Hisao, Nakai, we're in the same class. I just transferred here the other day. Maybe you don't remember? I did a self-introduction too. The girl still doesn't say a word, but simply stares at me wide-eyed. I'm still getting used to the place, so I'm trying to meet as many people as I can. So, what's your name?
Hanako.
Her speech is stuttering and so quiet it is barely audible even in the still library. Somehow, I think my delinquent impression of her was wrong. Hanako, eh? So what are you reading? She gently tips the book backwards so that I can read the title. It's the same, at the same time hiding her face behind it. She must have noticed me staring before. Life of Pi. I've never heard of it before. What's it about?
A boy and a tiger on a boat.
I can see this taking some time. Sounds interesting. Is it any good? She nods from behind the book but stays silent. She looks kinda tense. A bit like Yuko earlier, but in a different way. More like petrified with terror, I'd say. So the mystery delinquent girl turned out to be anything but. And is she quivering in a way that makes it look like she is mortally afraid of me? You're right, man. I don't know. I thought my eyes were tweaking, but then... Because, like, I wasn't fully looking at her model. I was reading the text, and I just thought, I'm like, you know what? My eyes are just tweaking, bruh. And then it was like, is she shaking? And I looked up, and I was like, wait, her model is shaking. But, like, it's, like, almost subtle enough that, like, if you're not paying attention, you just think, like, oh, I think my eyes are crossing and doing, like, a weird thing, you know? That's funny. Oh my goodness. I'm getting eepy. I say, I might finish up this scene, hopefully, and then I might wrap it up. No, she's shaking like a newborn puppy. Literally. Anyways. The only way out of this, as far as I can tell, is to try and get a normal conversation going. Is it possible? Is it a library book? I'm looking for new ones to read, but there's just so many.
No, it's mine.
Oh, so do you come here often, but not in a flirting way, but slash maybe? A huge blush spreads on Hanako's face, and her eyes widen for larger than I thought it was possible for eyes to do. Uh-oh. Did she interpret my lame attempt at small talk as a feeble attempt to pick her up? I mean, I didn't mean it like that.
I gotta go do something.
Without warning, Hanako takes off and runs towards the counter. Her hair-like takeoff catches me so off guard that I don't manage to go after her until she has a good head start. By the time I reach the counter, she is nowhere to be seen. Lily and Yuko are happily chatting away. Knowing that I won't be able to catch Hanako myself, I approach the girls. Hey, did you see or notice a girl run past here, perchance? Hello, Hydro. Maybe?
Maybe. What did she look like?
Long, dark hair, kind of shy. She had, well, some scars on her face. Yeah, we know her name, so we wouldn't be like, oh, do you know Hanako? Did she come back here?
You wouldn't be talking about Hanako, would you?
Yeah, that's her. I saw her reading and tried to talk to her, but I think I scared her off or something.
Oh dear. Yuko, would you excuse me? I had better try to find her. Sure. I'll just hold on to these until you come back.
What's going on?
I'm sorry, but I'll have to explain it to you some other time.
Right, I'll see you later then. Lily hastily grabs her cane and hurries out of the library, leaving me alone with Yuko. I don't think I'll ever get the hang of this place. Did I do something wrong?
What did you do?
Nothing, I just talked to her, tried to get to know her. Didn't even manage to get started. Hi, how's the game going? Pretty good. Though we're about to be wrapping up in a minute, so... Did I read that? I can't remember. Yuko sighs. Sorry, I just did a big ol' yawn, so I was muted. Yuko sighs and looks awfully bothered, even more so than she did before. I guess you weren't wrong so much as tactless. Tactless?
That girl is a bit of a special case. It's like she never really talks to anyone.
Isn't that a bit strange?
I wonder. It's just how she is, I think.
Yuko doesn't sound all that convincing. Then again, maybe this is just the norm around here. Everyone has their own problems, or else they wouldn't be here. Perhaps I was being a little tactless after all. But how should I deal with these people? Forcing myself to act overly casually only makes me feel phony. Like I was supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. Yuko fidgets, looking like she wants to say something to that, but resists it.
I think it's an elephant, only if you feel that way.
I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint. It makes me smile and she blushes heavily.
What? Did that sound stupid?
No. It sounded really wise. I guess you're right. It's more about me than anyone else. Neither of us had anything to add, so Yuko fills the silence shuffling some papers around. People who have paper on their desk really like doing that.
Did you find any books? I should be closing soon. I mean, this library should be closing. But I have to do it. So I hope that's not too inconvenient for you.
Oh yeah, I want some books, but I left them over there because I'll just go get them. I fetched my stack of books from beside the beanbags where Hanako and I were sitting and returned to the counter.
Wow, you read a lot, don't you?
I surprise myself with that too, honestly. At least when I really think about it. I had a lot of free time earlier this year, so I just kind of started reading books to fill that time. I couldn't do much else.
I see.
But she doesn't say anything else and just checks out my books for me. I guess this is what they call tact. Holding the library books with one arm, I trawl my pocket for the key to the door. A sudden sound from behind startles me, making me nearly drop the books I'm carrying or the key that I almost managed to get into the lock.
Who is it?
I turn around to see who is talking to me. Alright, I think this is where we're gonna end things for today. We'll talk to Kenji next time, whatever he's saying. Let me do a new save here. And let me just, make sure we saved. Okay, we did save. We did. All right, let me quit. We're quitting. And let me switch you guys over. I'm like super sleepy, and I have to try to get some stuff done. So I need to have some energy left. Oh, my volume is all the way up. Thank you guys so much for watching today's stream. Next stream will be tomorrow with, I have an idea in my head. It's kind of fitting, but a kind of twist. So we'll see what I end up doing. But yeah, until next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see ya. Oh, bye.